Welcome to the Rehearsal Room podcast.
What's up, everybody? We are excited to talk to you guys today about a cool question I got from two parents that was basically just like, what is next for my student? They've been taking music for a while. What's next? And this question honestly is, I don't even know how to approach it, because I was like, it's sort of like saying, hey, my son's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
How high should we fly?
Yeah.
It's like, well, space is
Yeah.
way up there. Anyway, so we got this long
I've
conversation.
learned how to read. What book do I
What?
read?
That is a better way of saying it, actually.
What's the book?
We're practicing reading, so what should I read?
Well,
It's like, man, what do you want to do? So
what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? Let's back up and say, if you just started at Rehearsal Room, you probably went through what we call the playbook, which is about 3 months of our curriculum. We hope to aim that. We hope to that through the curriculum that actually enables the student. If you're the student listening, great. If you're a parent of a student, to do the next things that we're talking about. So, okay, Coulter, tell me what you like to do. I mean, you're the studio director here. You're the lead teacher. You've got dozens and dozens of students. What do you do with students once they've kind of mastered the curriculum that we take them through for the first 3 months? What are next things?
Well, the first kind of, I'm gonna make a distinction. Lots of this isn't like okay, you hit this benchmark, now we can do this,
Okay.
But because going through those first songs, when we hit a song that a student really loves, I start recording that song. You kind of hit the steps as you go along, but I think recording's the first.
Why is recording so important to you? I mean, I know these answers, but we're just going to talk about them out loud so that everybody can kind of be part of our DNA here at Rehearsal Room. It's very different. Music schools don't have recording equipment in every room. Why did we do this? Why is it important to you as a teacher that we have that equipment and that ability for every teacher in 6 of our 7 rooms to record any instrument, any lesson? Why is that important?
Well, I think it's important for a couple
as Uti vacuums
as Uti's in the hall vacuuming. It's important for a couple reasons. I think the first one is to just show them what they sound like.
So important.
Because no one, I mean, how many people have recorded their voice and heard it for the first time and just had their heart broken? That's and that's a hump that if you get that early, it doesn't affect you. Like if you don't hear yourself speaking or singing until you're an adult, that has a different effect than, hey, I've known what I've sounded like singing since I was 8 because I've been recording here.
I heard a story of the startup of Chipotle.
Okay.
And I know there's varying opinions of Chipotle out there, so
I'm for them.
But I'm pro Chipotle.
Pro Chipotle.
And had it yesterday. Anyway, but when he was scaling up, he taught his chefs, taste your food.
Yeah.
That was like a groundbreaking thing for fast food. And if you think about that, like nobody at
how many Big Macs do you get with a bite taken out of it?
I hope 0. But the point is that they would taste their food. And it changed the quality of Chipotle instantly because they were like, oh, that tastes bad.
Yeah.
And
we need
so
more lime in this rice.
For musicians, it's like, do you like the way that sounds?
Yeah. If not, how do we improve it?
And I think the strangest thing for me as a vocalist, and I guess we'll get to you. So we've talked about why you do that as a teacher. For me, as still a musician and an artist who's developing, when I hear my voice, it's not that I think it's bad. Mm-hmm. It's that I just instinctively shift it so that it's a little more fitting.
It meets closer to the vision that you have in mind.
Yeah.
Because what you hear when you sing might sound great, but when you hear it back, you're like, oh, that's how it sounds. It's not doing what I thought it was.
Yeah.
How do I get it there?
That
applies to all instruments.
Agreed.
I'm just speaking in voice for now, but it's guitar, it's piano, it's drums. You might feel like you nailed it. You listen back and you're like, my kick's out of time. Why aren't I hitting that, you know?
And for me as a teacher, I'm wanting to not only help the students see that, but to also see that, okay, I want to say this real clearly, so I got to slow down. To not just see that they need to adjust what they're playing, but that the adjusting of what they're playing is part of being a musician.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the tennis player who, like, you're kind of adjusting your shot as it goes back and forth in the rally. That doesn't mean you're bad.
No.
That's the act of being a musician. You're going, that's not quite what I want. Doesn't mean you stink. Oh, just tweak it.
You don't plug your amp in, turn it on, and perfect. My tone. You know, you've got to adjust some stuff. It's not gonna. It's not gonna be automatic.
And that's so freeing when you start going, oh yeah, the adjusting is powerful. Like that's freeing.
And then on the other hand of that, lots of these people, I won't say kids because it's a universal thing for all the students, but it's something it's a physical thing that they can go, look, I've done this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a band of like one kid right now as we're waiting to fill it in, and he recorded all the tracks to a song he's learning. He recorded
every instrument,
drums, guitar, piano,
oh, wow.
a synth that was mimicking a sound in the recording that we don't play, the bass. He recorded it all and listened back. And by the end of that lesson, he was like, this was so cool.
Well, and by the way, just because I know this student you're talking about, let's just do a first name shout out. Who are we talking about?
Hudson.
And how long has Hudson been in this band?
Like a month.
It doesn't take long.
He comes in as a drummer.
Right.
2 weeks later, he's got a full song where he's playing every single instrument, and he might sing. And he's a little nervous about it, but he was open to the possibility, which is...
Guys, everybody like my age out there, which is like 40 above, or maybe even 30 above, you think of a recording studio as something that has this huge glass window and a big old room and then a guy behind it. You know, that's not what it is now. I'm telling you that like recording happens on your phone. I mean, when we put this in front of students, they learn this stuff so quickly. So I think what I'm saying is if your student is recording and you want them to, and they should be, by the way, with your instructor, you know, mention that to them because it needs to be integral. As you've heard from Coulter, Hudson's been taking guitar a while. He's got some skill.
Yeah,
drummer.
Well, no, he took piano for a little bit.
Okay.
Like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then has been drumming since. So it's...
he comes in as a drummer, he joins a band, and then now
never played guitar, never played bass. Learned the lowest string of both so he can play power chords and bass lines.
And now he actually resembles more, within a couple months, of what Phineas Eilish does for Billie Eilish, which is I play all the instruments for her, program everything, record everything.
Yeah. She sings the songs, we write the songs. That's it, band to two.
That's my whole hope with some of this stuff with the podcast is just that we can get this information out so the parents go, oh, I thought piano lessons was like you come in or music lessons and you learn this thing on a page and you go, well, you can start there, but really what you should do is like in a couple months tops, take the song, start recording it. They learn all the pieces. I mean, these kids are coding stuff.
They're sponges.
They're sponges. So these tools don't take much. Let's talk a little bit about what the recording aspect is the next. Okay, great. I'm learning
an instrument. I'm recording an instrument.
And we want to be very clear. Do not start recording after they have mastered a song.
No.
It is the thing.
It's as you learn. There's no better tool than to play back what they just played and go, how do you think this sounds? You don't tell them, but they will tell you. They go, that doesn't sound like the song. And you go, it doesn't. Let's fix it. Why doesn't it?
And I can't tell you how in 8 minutes where a student plays it, doesn't like it, plays it, likes it a little better, plays it, loves it, that feeling of self-improvement for them.
And then you send the track home and mom listens in the car and goes, look, he's getting better.
So let's talk about that, guys. Another thing that's unique about Rehearsal Room is that all of our rooms have the recording gear. At the end, the teachers upload the tracks, and in literally seconds, thank you, Fiber.
Yeah.
It goes to our website. So at rehearsalroommusic.com, you as a parent or as a student, adult, whoever you are, you click students, and there's just a button there that says, listen to the tracks, and you can listen to whatever you've done in your lesson on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So stream it as if you'd stream something off YouTube. Okay, so recording is the next. Oh my God, please do not keep playing scales on a page. Like, it's great, but that would be like saying, I only do push-ups and I someday want to be an Olympic gymnast. It's like, there's so much more.
Yeah.
So
you do scales, but that's not all. That's not all. That's just that's the warm-up.
So that you can play the
That's
thing.
the light jog before you run a marathon. You don't.
So I think that's a next, and we're going to move quickly. You guys are probably going to be sick of hearing me talk about bands, but I built this place so you can see I really like bands.
Three of the rooms are named
three
band
of
rooms.
the rooms. One of them is named Venue.
Yeah.
So we have 3 band rooms and a venue. Right.
Yep.
But the band is a next, so much so because, let me put it this way. So I'm a touring artist. Coulter actually plays guitar for me sometimes. I have 3 ways that I rate a gig. Is the money good? Are the people I'm playing with fun to be with? And now I forgot the other. People, money,
Place.
and music. So those are my 3. And basically it's like, am I making good money? Am I playing good music? Are the people good? Typically it's 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
That's a good night.
3 out of 3 is a rare.
3 out of 3 is
good
that's
time.
a winner.
It's a
but
good time.
2 out of 3 is great. So my point with that is, if you can be with good people and you can be playing good music, it's just one of those things in life that it's almost worth doing for free. Sometimes it is worth doing for free. And sometimes it's worth paying for. And what we try to just provide here is something that someone can go, okay, I've played a while. I don't think I'm good enough to be in a band. I don't think I'm good enough to record. Hold on. What if you actually could meet some people that you were comfortable around? We, as an organization, actually curated for you and said, hey, this might be a good matchup.
Yeah.
Musically, personality-wise, for the younger students, hey, these are kind of shy kids. Hey, these are kind of goofy kids. Hey, these are smelly boys.
Well, I've got a band of all girls,
We try and actually curate these things. We're not throwing you guys into sort of random things. That is always for me is a next. Just come try it. Because you might find one of those musical experiences. And here's what we hear as feedback all the time from groups of people, especially parents. They go, and this is what kills me. They go, oh my gosh, he's done the band for 3 weeks. All he does is practice now. And I go, I know, it's backward. You were trying to practice to get good enough to be in a band. It's backward. Go get in a band, and then you will go practice.
You don't start studying till you're given a test.
That's it.
You don't.
This is why
I'm not just studying for fun.
How do you say in 10 words what I say in 1,000?
You say it, and I can kind of process it.
Okay, you process it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. The band is it's game day.
Yeah.
No one wants to run drills until
Yeah.
Until you got the chance. You need game day,
You know
man.
what you're rehearsing for. You know what
man.
you're getting ready for.
So I would throw that out as an as next. I know we talked about the band on the previous podcast where we talked about practicing, but
might come up on everyone.
If I'm on this thing, it's coming up all the time. Not because it's like a huge selling point of Rehearsal Room. We probably have starting right now, we have 148. So we got 150 students at Rehearsal Room. 30-ish of them are in band, so a fifth of the school.
35, 40,
something.
Yeah, around there.
I'm not saying it's for everybody, but everyone that does it, I never hear, well, we did the band, and he stopped practicing, and...
He hates music now.
It's
rare. That's a rare thing.
It typically kind of becomes their thing.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's a what's next. We're going to shift moving into the next one, though, which is what's next is, and I know everyone's going to gasp and say this isn't for me, performing.
Yeah. Why be in a band if you're just going to play to an empty room?
And even to the adults, I'll talk to myself who's starting new hobbies. 41-year-old guy, 51, 60-year-old, whatever. I'm starting this hobby, but I don't want to. I'm doing this just for me.
Mm-hmm.
What we're saying here. Consider doing it in front of people. Rehearsal Room Fest is November
18th and 19th, I think.
Okay, 18th and 19th. That Friday night is our solo artist showcase, and then the Saturday is the band showcase. So what I'd love for you guys to do is, if you've never performed, we do our venue in the back. We do about 2 songs for each solo performer. The instructor can back you. Your instructor can back you, can back your student. We created that venue. I mean, I literally remember sitting down and scaling it out with the architect going, I want it this big so that it feels like a venue, but it doesn't feel so big that it feels intimidating. The lights go down low. It's very comfortable. It is a great first performance opportunity. You walk away going, I got to watch my kid get up there and do their thing. This was cool. It felt like they did it in a living room, but with a better sound system.
Yeah.
You know?
And a couple more people.
Exactly. And then think about coming back on Saturday and watching the bands, or if you're in the band, here you go. Invite some people, and just sort of, performing is not something that's a big show-off thing. It's not... I'm not downsizing like social media with like TikTok or Instagram, but it's not, hey, I need attention. Performing is just something we do here at Rehearsal Room because it's how we share music.
Yeah, you got something to say. You got something to show. It's less a, hey, look at me, and more of a, hey, look at this cool thing.
Exactly. So if you're a parent out there, and to the 2 people that I won't name, but they're awesome, and their daughter's been taking vocal lessons here, you ask the question like, well, what's next? There's recording, there's bands, there's performing, and if we're doing our job, which...
We haven't even talked about writing music either.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's in all of this.
Okay, we'll probably talk about that in a second.
That'll be a...
Okay, so now I think we should mention that actually on this, but if we're doing our job as a studio, those opportunities are on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis for you. Please consider those with the writing, with the recording music. Come and do a trial band. We've got about 10 bands right now. And then, of course, the performing. There's going to be a comfortable opportunity that maybe you have a little stage fright, but your instructor can help you with that, coaching you in your lessons, and then actually helping you get ready for some opportunity. Coulter, I've talked too much. You mentioned writing now.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you as a teacher help a student who may go, oh, I don't write songs.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's it's something that I think comes up as soon as a student can do the most basic thing on their instrument. They're ready to write a song.
Give me an example on guitar.
On guitar, if they can play the first 3 songs in the playbook, if they can play 3 chords, if they can...
Really?
They can write a song.
Okay.
Yeah. Going back to that last podcast we did, me talking about the first song I learned to play was a 4-chord song. You know, it's got 4 chords. Once I knew those chords from that song, I'm sure I was writing. Right. I've found a spiral from elementary school with songs in it. Terrible songs.
My
but
first song was called Blue Eyed Bermuda.
Oh, I had like the dragonfly eyes.
Oh,
flying
yeah,
overhead.
dude.
What do they see?
Is that
do
about,
they see
is
me?
Dragonfly Eyes about a girl? It's like, what's a metaphor?
I think that was the only one that wasn't about a girl. It was Dragonfly Eyes. It was my come together song. Yeah, it was what do they see? They see the world.
And by the way, if you
we
guys
should come together.
For y'all listening out there, I want you to hear, please, how much we enjoy talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
Like a student
Dragonfly
that's ready
Eyes.
to go the first song, like it's my favorite day. It's my favorite day. Just getting to do that with a student.
Yeah.
So
I've got a student that every week we're either working on a song or writing a new song. And it's gotten to the point where he comes in, he's like, I got chords for the verse and chorus. And I'm like, cool. We lay him down. He's like, drums now? And I'm like, yeah. He'll lay down a beat. And I'm almost just here pressing record while he does his thing. A nudge every a nudge every now and then. And then when the lyrics come in, some lyrical help. Lyrics are one of the hardest things to feel natural about writing. But, it becomes... People are intimidated by songwriting when really, once you know any sort of chord or beat on your instrument, you can write a song.
And the other thing for if you're a high school student, you're always being asked to create. Here's this essay prompt. Here's this. You're always having to do that, but you're having to do it about stuff that you don't really connect with emotionally. As an adult, you're always having to draft this email for work. You're always having to think creatively. You're just filling in blanks. Excuse me. And what we try to do, at least my tactic, tends to be, well, let's narrow the focus a little bit. G, D, E minor, C. So what order
do they go to? Yeah, what
order
pick an
do you
order?
want to put them in? Okay, well, that's the thing. You're like, well, oh, really? You're like, yeah, you just decide.
You just wrote the chord progression. Congrats.
It doesn't really fall out of heaven and hit you in the head. And so, again, then you get to go through that process of, okay, well, what's the simplest beat I can do that matches it? Okay, well, how does a bass line work on a little synth? All this stuff happens real quick, and then you guys get to leave with that song, listening, downloading on the website, sharing with mom, dad, aunt, uncle, sister. And the coolest part about that is now the quest for practicing, quote unquote, or learning new music is really just putting more things in your arsenal to use in your own songs.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you the amount of times that I have had a kid in band learn a cover song for their band, and then the next week he's writing a song that sounds pretty similar. It's not the same, but hey, he learned this new chord, or he learned this new, this song was a lot faster than he was used to, or this song was a lot heavier. It's a Green Day song instead of Sweet Home Alabama.
Totally.
And now he's writing Green Day songs, because that's a new thing that has popped into the wheelhouse.
So I guess my question for you, Coulter, like as you've seen students, whether they're young or adult, succeed here, regards to recording, participating in a group band, performing or writing, or a combination of all of them, mastering an instrument, which is what I think most parents think of as success. I want my student to become a good piano player.
Yeah.
Is not success.
Yeah, good
it's
compared to who?
Exactly. It's really the vehicle to, it's almost like saying, I want them to develop good penmanship.
Yeah, or, hey, I want them to be a better reader. They know how to read. They can write.
Right.
Once you reach a certain level, it's kind of...
So
let's do the thing.
I'm going to sum up this, and then I'm going to let you close. Though, is that if you're listening to this, begin to ask yourself about yourself or about your student. Which one of those? It's not which is next. It's they're actually probably. I don't want to use like a heavy word like destiny, but they're probably destined for one of those paths.
Yeah.
For a reason.
They're going to get drawn somewhere.
They're drawn to it.
Yeah.
Which one are they drawn to? It's not actually what's next. It's what is first.
Pick your own adventure.
There you go.
Yet they all connect in the end.
Yeah, there you go.
You're not shooting yourself in the foot if you go and record, because that's just going to lead back to
right.
the next thing and the next thing.
So the longer you
it's
wait,
a circle.
Yeah, and the longer you wait to kind of knock on one of those doors or to lead your student up and go, hey, I want you to talk to your instructor about writing or recording. The longer you wait and you stay in what I call quote unquote practice land. Well, we want to practice your guitar more. You're actually, how do I put it? The clock, you got to get them there quicker.
Yeah, that fire's going to burn out unless you
burn out.
Start adding more to it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It's good, man. Well, all right, guys, that's it for this week.
I'm a songwriter. Happens.
Huh?
Metaphors everywhere.
Metaphors, the language of a songwriter.
Yeah.
Guys, we're really glad you're here at Rehearsal Room. And if you've got any more questions, text them in to us, 832-265-2732. By the way, I like saying that because it's very radio DJ.
Yeah, that's about halfway through this one. It was like, okay.
Yeah. What up, guys? Hit us up, 832-26... No, not what... 346-273-9442, request line. Request line. Or our website. Find us on... You can do it on Google. Email is rehearsalroommusic@gmail.com. Or just drop a question at the front desk with Udi, because we want these to go just studio-wide so that we can begin to talk to the parents and the students and educate you guys about really how we can help you do what we are setting out to do, which is help our students and our parents achieve their musical dreams. It's what we love to do. So,
cool.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Boom.